Hi. So, let's talk deadlines.
What's really interesting about the word deadline, think about what it means, and think about the flawed premise that people even approach that from, because when they speak of dead, they mean it's the end, there is no more, and there isn't even any deadline in dead. Because you're eternal beings. In other words, the whole premise of a deadline is flawed.
Okay, so I have a lot of those flawed premises that have manifested themselves. And I totally accept responsibility that the more I focus on them, the more of them I get, and the shorter they are, and the more impossible they are to meet. So that part of it I get, just stop focusing on it. And there seems to be, like if I was to say, deadlines are out of the vortex, I wouldn't even know what the in the vortex opposite of that is, like opposite ends of the stick. If there's deadlines on one end, what's on the other end?
Well, let's talk about what a deadline in the way physical people mean it is anyway. So when you believe that, and a lot of people do, and it's accurate because they're observing life and this is the conclusion that they've come to. But when you say, I need to accomplish such and such in this much time, so that means I need to offer this much action to get this much result in this much time. They're almost always out of the vortex when they're doing it, and they're not utilizing the leverage that in the vortex would allow them. Now, we're going to get more detailed about this just to really make this point very clear. We played with it earlier today when we talked about if you don't take the time to get into the vortex, then everything about life is harder. Everything takes more time. You have to go back and do things over again. You rendezvous with people that don't know what they're doing. In other words, when you've got this time crunch that you've got going on, it just gets worse and worse. It's like the more out of balance you get, the more out of balance you get. Where if you just sort of walk away from the behavior and the action, and you take the time to, no matter what, meditate, release, relax, soothe yourself back into alignment, next time you approach it, it will be easier for you. Now, there's another piece of this that we're sort of hovering around, and we want to bring it in because we haven't talked about it before in this detail, and it will be a good conversation to have. So, most people who are approaching things in a deadline perspective are trying to accomplish an outcome with behavior or action. And what we were talking about earlier, you just can't manipulate it enough. You can't grab enough people. You can't make them do what they need to do. In other words, you just can't get there from there. Action isn't the answer. And yet almost everybody that even uses the word deadline is so completely action oriented that they're just fighting against themselves. People who work with deadlines, while they do accomplish things, it is still mediocre creation because they are just going about it the hard way. And even though they may get, by earth standards, some results, they've sacrificed their joy in the process and therefore have failed at the reason that they exist. So a deadline is completely out of the vortex. Now let's consider the other side of that. Let's call it a lifeline rather than a deadline. So what's a lifeline? Well, first of all, everything you want has already been arranged, and law of attraction has already assembled it. And so if you're reaching for alignment, now things can happen easily. In other words, Jerry said in the beginning, a lot of people were coming to him and saying, you need to have more people help you, or you need to find a way of letting people know about Abraham. And Jerry always said, I want to let this happen. I'm not going to try to make anything happen. And so that was just his philosophy. He didn't care if there were 5 of you or 10 of you or 20 of you was the magic number that made them break even. But he wasn't going to put any deadline pressure on anything. I'm just going to let this happen. Then one day he said to Esther, she remembers it vividly. He said, I think I'm about ready to let this go. Meaning, I'm ready to just let it be whatever it be's. I'm not going to try to control it. I'm not going to try to hold it back. I'm not going to try to promote it. I'm just ready to let it be. And those words were barely out of his mouth. Within 24 hours, people began contacting him. Wayne Dyer called and said, I'm listening to the recordings. I'd like to meet with you. And when he did, if there's anything I can do, just let me know. And a stream of people, influential people who were already on this path, began offering their endorsement. And all Jerry had said was, I think I'm ready to begin to let this happen. And then Hay House, the publisher of all of these beautiful materials, called and said, we would like Abraham to write a book and we'll publish it. And then another and another. And the ease with which that unfolded is evidence of no deadline. It was evidence of Lifeline. It was evidence of trusting the system of the law of attraction, and allowing it to do what it knows how to do. Everything that we're talking about is about releasing the barriers between you and you, the lifeline of who you really are focused in this moment. That's everything, because who you are is confident, and who you are is worthy, and who you are is eager, and who you are is talented, and who you are in your physical body is particular, and who you are is choosing, and who you are is worthy. There is never a reason to try to push anything, because everything is unfolding in its perfect order. Everything is right on track. Everything is unfolding perfectly. So it's a matter of no longer trying to struggle it into place and deadline it into place and bang it into place and coerce it into place and demand it into place. It's a matter of letting it be, letting the goodness that you so deserve, that you've so set into motion, that you've so even recently contributed to magnificently, just let it be. Let it be. Someone should write a song. Let it be. Let the good times roll. Let the fun be. Let my attitude improve. Let the evidence be shown. Let the world understand. Let me know right now. In other words, let who I really am be present in this moment. Let my eagerness be. Let my passion be. Let my clarity be. Let my balance be. Let my metabolism be. Let my well-being be. Let my cells do what they do. Let my children be. Let my nation be. Let my government be. Let the healthcare system be. Let the ecology be. Let the economy be. Let the good times roll. Let it be. Let the well-being be. Let the earth spin in its orbit in perfect proximity. Let it be. How involved in that are you? You're not involved in that. You let that be. You let that be. And you can let everything be in that same expectant of good things to be, because you've set it into motion and the larger part of you knows it. And when you train yourself into that expectation, then well-being abounds always. Really good. So you can tell by the way you feel how in alignment you are with this version of you. Have you heard enough from us? Have you heard it before today, or did you hear it today? Do you get it that you have two vibrational aspects, and that every emotion you feel is an indicator of how well those two vibrational aspects are blending or not blending? That's the key to everything about your life. It's the key to your mood from here on, and it's the key to you knowing what your guidance is showing you in terms of finding the fulfilling satisfaction that you came here to live. So we want you to understand that we have the glorious experience of getting to witness, as you sit in the room or as you sit in the chair, both vibrational aspects of you and the relationship they have to one another. And we stand unequivocally, completely inside your vortex of creation. We stand in solidarity with the wholeness of who you are. We will not come out of your vortex to commiserate with you just because you're out of your vortex. We will stand in your vortex knowing that you very much want to be in there too, and we will use every possible thing that we can find to coax you into the vortex. But the most important thing that we want you to understand is you have to make the decision that you want to be there. You have to understand that the vortex exists and that the larger part of you is there. And there's one last thing. You must pay the sacrificial price of joy. You have to care. You have to care that you feel good. before anything that we say or any guidance that we help to awaken within you will have any meaning for you. You are the creator of your experience, and you create with the focus that you find. So it is our desire to help you to realize that you can focus into this vortex, and you can bring a manifestational evidence of everything that you want about quickly. But you can't focus on what is and on this vortex of creation at the same time. And that's mostly what we're going to be talking about here today. How you can find the vibration of what's going on in the vortex. And the biggest thing that trips you up is that you are using your physical senses in such a magnificent way in order to define or explain, or even sometimes to explore your physical reality, that you talk in terms of what you see and what you hear and what you smell and taste and touch. It's a tactile, physical reality, this what-isness of this reality. Where this vibrational reality that we're describing, you can't see it because it hasn't manifested in that way. You can't hear it, you can't smell it or taste it or touch it, but you can know it by the feeling of it. In other words, if we can get you addicted to the feeling of well-being, then you can feel your way into the vortex. And once you feel your way in and you establish a chronic pattern of thought that allows you to linger there, then full view, full manifestation comes next. There's a little tripping point on explaining that step to you for this reason. You don't really get it, and it's all right, but you don't really get it, that this physical world that you can see and hear and smell and taste and touch is only vibrational interpretation. And most of you don't get it, that the only difference between this vibrational reality that we're describing and the reality that you are so enamored with is that the physical reality has come into fuller focus for you. If you can stay with us just for a moment and accept that it's only a vibrational adjustment between the vibrational version and the manifested version. In other words, to you, sometimes it feels like, well, this is reality. And Abraham's talking about fairy tales and Never Never Land and other worldly things and non-physical stuff. And sure, I might feel better if I focus into their fairyland, but how does reality fit with that? And we want you to understand that reality is an extension of the same thing. We're not kidding you. You can focus yourself into vibrational sync by feeling your way into the vortex. And if you will, every time you find yourself in there, milk it longer until you have made a concrete habit of sustaining the high-flying, good feeling, secure feeling, vital and alive feeling, love feeling, well-being feeling of being in the vortex. If you will make those emotions chronically your own, the manifestations will be so fast on the heels of that, that people who are watching you will say, what magic have you found? And your response from inside the vortex will be, it's the promise that we all held when we came forth. It's the promise that we are the creator of our own experience and that we get to live the full manifestation of it here. The reason that so many humans are sort of out of whack with that is because you've been making an art of resistance instead of an art of allowing. That's all that it is. You've practiced your resistant thoughts more than you've practiced your allowing thoughts. It's easier to be mad and be ornery and make lists of what you don't want than it is to feel good and be happy and make lists of what you do want. You've been facing the reality and you've been leaning resistant rather than leaning allowing. And that's why we're here, to remind you of who you really are and how it all works. So, can't get it wrong. You never get it done. You will never disappoint us. We stand in the vortex where who you have really become is, and we revel in the expansion that is you, and we love nothing more than when you catch up with you, but you have no assignment to catch up with you. It's your own choice to live joyously or not. You won't make anybody mad. who's in the vortex.